Hello and welcome to the Kundalini podcast. That was Zen. This is Tao. I'm Vivek. Go Vivek. Namaste. I just posted an episode today for the first time in 6 months, and I explained why I had been away. That was episode 127. However, when I had gone back to the other episodes that I had made, 122 to 126, and the comments that I saw, one of the comments that I had read was, can you give us details about that initial experience when you awakened spontaneously and what that was like? And that's what gave me the idea for starting this again. But obviously the first episode has to be something introducing yourself again and saying, okay, this is what I was doing while I was gone, which I did in episode 127. But I was thinking about how to make the kind of episode that that person had asked for, about your initial awakening, because that will require a long explanation. If I have to fill up all 14 minutes of my episode with that event, I have to explain some things first and in the end come to that event when it happened. Because there's not much to say about that event itself, just the event. Only when I explain who I was before and what happened after does that event even make sense. So who was I before? The Kundalini awakening happened on August 31st, 2006. How it happened, the details specifically, was I was having sexual intercourse with my ex-wife. Then she was my wife back then, 2006. Me and her, we were having fun. And that was a normal experience. In 2006, we had been married for 9 years. So, not a big deal having sexual intercourse with your wife, right? And that was a good moment. We had some music playing in the background, lots of excitement, enjoyment, and at the end, culmination, orgasm, I felt like there was an eggshell, like egg breaking in my spine, at the bottom of my spine. And the first word that popped into my mind, first thought, was the word Kundalini. That's it, it just flashed there. Before that, no knowledge of Kundalini, and I was not devout or religious. And that's when, okay, now I feel a snake moving up my spine. Suddenly, what's this? And everything started changing. How I was feeling, what emotions I was getting, everything. Like no connection to anything up to that point. And I'm like, what's this? What's happening? But because I had that word thought flash in my mind, Kundalini, I thought, well, I know what that is, but let me go out and find details. What's this Kundalini thing? Is that what is happening? That's what I thought. But I had heard before, bottom of your spine, eggshell, like egg breaking, and energy being released and a snake moving. Okay, Kundalini. So from the get-go, from the very beginning, when it happened, I had a feeling that, okay, this is Kundalini, because that thought popped into my head immediately. Right? And the snake started moving, and it's like, what's this? Oh my God. Everything became different after that. Okay? So that's the technical details of what happened and how that day was. Since then, it's always been in my spine, and eventually I started making the videos. But how did I get to that point? August 31st, 2006. How did I get to that point? For that, I have to give you a background of myself, how I grew up, and before that moment, what events had happened, how I got married and came to that point. Okay, so I was born in Mumbai, India. in a suburb called Mulund. And I had parents who were regular working class people. My father worked in a company. He was trying to rise up, ambitious. And my mother worked in a bank and she was doing well, stable job. We had an apartment in Mumbai, in Mulund. And that's where I grew up from birth till the age of 13 or 14 in 1987. Then my father had just graduated with an MBA, and back then an MBA was a big deal, and had looked for other jobs, something higher up, and he had found a job, but it happened to be in this place called Nashik, different city, not in Mumbai. So in 1987 my entire family moved to Nashik. There my father wanted to buy a house, not an apartment, an actual house. Didn't want to live in a building with neighbors. And he did that. And I was in 9th grade. 9th and 10th was in a school called St. Joseph's in Nashik. And then 11th and 12th was in what is called junior college in India. RYK Junior College for science. Specialization was science, which allowed me in 12th grade to choose pharmacy, become a pharmacist. Then I applied to American universities, got accepted, moved here. And I had a girlfriend back in my pharmacy college in India. She was a year junior to me, so she graduated 1 year after me. And then I was doing my graduate school in Pittsburgh. I went back, married her, brought her with me. Right? Eventually I finished my doctorate, found a job, and we applied for our green card. She did her pharmacy license procedure and became a licensed pharmacist in the state of North Carolina, where we live, right? Then eventually we bought a house, moved there, had a child, had a baby. That was around 2007, 2008. So this process was already going on in my back, and I had to find ways to stabilize it. What's this? Okay, so if I do this breathing practice, it calms down. If I do this, it helps. I have to bend and do these yoga poses so that the energy can move efficiently in my spine. That was my life after the awakening. But okay, this is happening. I'm slowly learning about it, going through the process, assimilating it, doing the right techniques, learning from people. But okay, let's go move forward with the plans that we had made. This awakening, I don't know, I didn't plan for it, but let's go through life. Right now I can't work, go out and get a job, but let's do the best with it. So we bought the house, had the baby. I was a stay-at-home dad, and I was also coping with this energy, right? So this is the progression, this is the sequence of events. And when she was 9, my daughter was 9 years old, is when me and my ex-wife got divorced. 2017 is when the divorce procedure started. 2018 is when the divorce was finalized. I fell into a depression, and I went, the other things that happened, and I made videos, etc. So the actual awakening event is just, okay, we were having sex, I orgasmed, and this happened. Eggshell broke in my bottom of my back, in my spine, and the snake started moving through my back. So to give you an account of my Kundalini process and how it began in 2006, I believe this is all I can tell you. If I have to put all those details together of who I was, how I started my life, where I went, and then what happened post-awakening up to about 2018. I've given you all the details. If you have any more questions, please put them in the comments section, and I would be glad to answer them for you. Peace, love, blessings. Be well.